So, sorry, am I getting a bit passionate?
No.
5Fs.
Good. Keep going, because this.
Okay, so they're the 5Fs, but then I've got two more. I've got Brucey bonus. I've got two more, but obviously
a Brucey bonus.
A Brucey bonus. These are the really important ones, clearly. Every day. And look, here's the other point. Yesterday, I didn't have a good day. I felt terrible. I've not been well, as you know. And I didn't do my normal exercise routine. I just felt awful. So my fitness took a bit of a hit yesterday. Not in my mind. I did a lot of meditations and, really worked on myself up there. But it wasn't great, okay? But I still ate well. I still put good stuff into me. Started the day with a green juice. Yesterday probably wasn't a good day financially. My son's car needed fixing and he came to the ATM machine, which is called me. There were a few other things. The dog went to the vet and it's really ill and we don't have pet insurance. I don't even want to know what that bill's going to look like. So I didn't have, those two weren't great yesterday, but I still had faith. I got outside, I had a walk in nature. In fact, I walked barefoot around the lawn. I really liked that. It was really grounding. I fed the chickens, I fed the turkeys, it was all great. Friends, I reached out to a friend because I was really having a bad day, but I reached out to two friends. It was great. And family, I've set up a family quiz night for my family tonight on Zoom. So I got 3 of them right, okay? I didn't get the other 2. And every day you won't have all of them. But I'll address it. I've already done yoga this morning because I'm feeling a bit better. So I'm bringing the fitness back up again. The Brucey bonus too, fun.
Yay!
So I did an exercise about, are we okay for time, by the way?
Yeah.
I've got no idea how long we're supposed to.
We're on 1:15. You know what? Sometimes these kind of end up being really good chats.
Okay, but tell me to stop if you need to.
No, it's good. Okay. Good. We want to hear the Brucey bonus.
Yeah, so I did this course myself, I think in the midst of my slightly course junkie time about 2 or 3 years ago. Find your life purpose. And, and I love all that. And I now help people do it as well. And it was about your values. And, I think these are really good exercises. But I sat in this room and we did this exercise. It was a half-day workshop. And then everybody's sharing their values. And all mine were a bit, worthy. It was like, compassion, which I'm not poo-pooing it. I genuinely have it, okay? Yeah. Compassion, grit, determination, all these things that really make me who I am. And we went around the room and nearly everybody else had fun or happiness or pleasure. And I didn't even have it on my long list, never mind my short list. And I went home and I really thought about that. And I thought, why don't you think that fun is available to you? Why do you not think that fun is available to you? That it has to be hard or it has to be worthy or, and what is fun to you? And I really, really, really sat with it. I really worked with it. And now I literally every day go, what are we going to do today for fun?
Yay!
And it could be something as simple as when we first went into lockdown, we've got that quoits game, where you get the bits of rope over there. I was out on the lawn getting them on, and we've got this family not pub quiz, a quizzical night tonight because my family is all over the place. It was such fun. I mean, it was hilarious. I laughed so much when mascara was running. Watch a fun movie. Groundhog Day is my favorite movie possibly of all time. Really? Watch something that's fun. I mean, so fun I think is really important, and for me I literally almost have to remember to do it. And then the last one is forgiveness. And again, there's a chapter in my book about that. And when I was working for the leprosy mission, we collaborated with a lot of other charities. And I spent a lot of time in Africa. And there's a charity, and I can't remember the name of the tree, but it's a tree. And the tribal people sit under this tree when they have problems within the tribe and they work their differences out. And so this charity is named after this tree. And while I was talking to the head of the charity, they told me about the concept of radical forgiveness. And so in Rwanda, after the genocide, when literally neighbor was killing neighbor, and it was the Hutu tribe, and I can't remember, but it was horrendous. There were so many people in jail from one faction, and they got the country, back. But they were like, what do we do with all these people? We don't have enough room for them all. We don't have enough prison guards for them all. We can't keep them in jail forever. What do we do? And the only place they can go is back to their villages, back to next door to the house where they killed the father of that family. How are we going to make this happen? We don't have enough police, enough soldiers to police this. A bit like what we're talking about now. Is there going to be a second wave? Is there going to be a second wave of genocide? And so they used this concept of kind of bringing the elders together under the trees, and they all decided that the only way forward was they were all going to have to forgive each other. Now, I'll be honest, if somebody had killed my son and they lived next door to me, I've got faith, but wow, that is a big ask. But actually it put that country back together again. So that's radical forgiveness. Now, what I will say to my clients is, I'm not a priest, I'm a therapist. It's not my job to tell you to forgive that person. I'll be honest, some of the things I hear that happen to people, they're pretty unforgivable, to be honest. It's not my job to say, oh, you'll feel so much better if you forgive them. No. What is crucial is you forgive yourself. You forgive yourself for allowing it to happen. You forgive yourself for allowing it to ruin the last 10 years of your life. You forgive yourself for waking up every day wanting that person to die, or whatever that created in you that you don't like about yourself now or want to uninstall like faulty software in a computer. That's what you forgive.
I love that. Forgiveness is, forgiveness is a massive thing. I spoke to Barbara Byrne the other week, and she deals in forgiveness as a coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
It's just so beautiful. Forgiveness is of self. That's the thing that we're really truly talking about here. For anyone who's watching, is forgiveness of self.
Yeah,
it's truly powerful. It's possibly one of the most powerfulest things. And I tell you what came up recently, and I'll be completely honest, was forgiveness for wanting to be positive.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
it's over wanting to have fun.
Look, it's been a very, 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 very interesting time, hasn't it, over the last few weeks, with lockdown and COVID. It's been like a kind of weird psychological experiment, to be honest. No, really. And I've seen people on Facebook go like this, polarized. Brexit was nothing in comparison. I've had people who literally at one end are like, anybody who goes out and group hugs, is a terrible, terrible person. And then the other end, it's all nonsense. It's all made up. All of you are being controlled by fear and whatever, my own views are somewhere in the middle, probably. But boy, has it polarized people. And, and I think it's just triggered everybody's innermost fears, things they haven't forgiven themselves for in the past or other people in the past. I talk about my therapy and my coaching, and I talk about it like a hole in the road. You come across like a sinkhole. It's a really big hole. You can't ignore it. And of course, you could fill that hole in quite quickly, or you could even build a bridge across it, or you could even walk around it. Okay. But really, you need to understand, why did that hole happen? You've got to go and look at the bottom, because if you don't understand that it happened because there's an artesian well below it or a mine shaft or something, it's only going to be a temporary fix, and it will happen again. So the therapy, what I do with the regression, with the hypnotherapy, with the RTT, that's the deep dive. That is going with the person together safely in a really controlled way, down to look at what the fault line is, what's causing that. And then you can fill the hole in. And then the coaching is, now the road's all mended, how are we going to go forward? Where should we go? Or another analogy is a garden with weeds. if you don't pull the weeds up properly, if you just cut them and then sprinkle beautiful flower seeds, the flowers will grow, but all the weeds will come back up again. So you've got to pull the weeds out by the root. So I think what's been happening is, in this weird time when nobody's quite certain about what's good advice, what's bad advice, are the people in charge making good decisions, are they making bad decisions, is another country getting it right, are we getting it wrong? Oh my goodness, it's been uncertainty 101, hasn't it? It's caused people to trigger all of those fault lines, all of that stuff, and I've seen people be really quite horrible to each other, but I get it, it's fear-based.
The amount of over this time, the amount of inner work that, you know, even I've had to do.
Me too.
Yeah, you know, I've got fields next to me, and I've regularly walked at the field and like literally burst into tears, you know, and lots of stuff has been going on. But I
was in tears last night after my horrible day, thinking that the dog might die and the sheep had died and everything else. I was in tears.
And you do. Yeah. But I want to ask you, because this is the thing that really came up to me recently, and I asked someone else a question, because they were saying to me how overwhelmed they felt, how anxious that they felt. And I said, tell me on a percentage, how much of the day are you actually anxious and overwhelmed and how much of the day are you actually happy? Because I feel like sometimes, you know, I look at, you know, how much I'm overwhelmed and how much I'm happy. I'm probably more happier in percentage than any point where anything else happens.
So here's my answer to that. I think, okay, I'm going to say a couple of things. So one is, this actually is a blueprint for all of that, quite genuinely. I'm just going to give it a plug.
Yeah.
Secondly, we're very good at noticing what's wrong, and we're not very good at noticing what's right. And there's actually studies to prove it. There's like Harvard and people have done it. You know, we have what's called a reticular activating system. It's a funnel in our head. We're very programmed because of survival, because of our primeval monkey brain and reptilian brain and the amygdala. We're very programmed to see what's wrong, because if we didn't see what's wrong, we wouldn't notice there was a saber-toothed tiger in front of us.
Exactly.
We wouldn't either fight, flight, or freeze. We wouldn't either run away, fight it, or bob down and hope it wouldn't see us. You know, this is a primeval wiring in our brain that software has never really been upgraded. So we are very programmed to see what's wrong. You know, even when people come to me and we do amazing work together, they'll send me an email and go, so it's all going really well. And then I woke up and I felt a bit blah, you know, and I'm like, just before we deal with that, what have been the positive changes? And I go, oh yeah, you know, like I'm not drinking anymore, and I'm like joined the gym and like blah, 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 blah. But you know, today I did feel a bit depressed. You know, it's like I get that, but they're kind of looking for what's wrong. So I think you have to actively look for what's right. You have to create a new filter in your head. And there's even a study that says for every negative thought you have, or for everything you notice bad, like about yourself, for example, oh my goodness, look at that spot or whatever, you then should do 5 positive ones. So look, you know, these are kind of reprogramming your brain. So that's sort of the first thing. The second thing is, I don't think we are designed to be happy all the time.
Yes.
I say that because I think sometimes you can almost beat yourself up for not being happy. And it becomes counterproductive. It's like, why aren't I happy? You know, it's like, you know, as long as I'm not unhappy, that's good enough. Oh, let me remember, what is it that makes me happy? Let me do that tomorrow. Let me schedule some time to do that. You know what my thing about active happiness, or, you know, conscious happiness. Let's do some of that. So that would be my response to that. But I think, you know, just be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to know that these are difficult times, and that even people like me who kind of look like I've got it all going on, I haven't. You know, I've not been feeling well sometimes. I've had days when I just spent the morning baking because it was nice. I've cried quite a bit, you know, and I don't then feel bad about those things.
Yeah.
That
makes total sense. And you know what? You completely hit the nail on the head. that I was speaking to someone as well about, about sometimes we go into like a real fearful state, thinking that someone's going to actually come at us.
Oh, we're programmed for it.
Yeah.
It's from the amygdala, okay? We are programmed for it, because if we didn't, none of us would be here today. If we as primeval people hadn't been programmed for fight, flight, fight, or freeze, we would not live to tell the tale. The trouble is, whilst your brain kicks into the super, one of those, and floods your body with cortisol, so that you can run fast, so that you can do the thing you need to do, it switches off the hypothalamus, because it goes, right, okay, we haven't got time to debate this, mate. That critical, rational, should I, shouldn't I, part of you literally gets switched off, while you survive. The trouble is, now that happens when somebody cuts you up in traffic in the car, and you start to see red, because that energy is going somewhere, and maybe it's going into anger. And then you give yourself a label, just for good measure, like me. Oh, you're depressed. Let's give you citalopram. I'm not good with labels. I'm not saying conditions and things don't happen, but be careful about how you label yourself. People will say things like, well, we get angry. That's what our family does. It's like, yeah, guess what? That's very self-fulfilling, isn't it? And I'm not poo-pooing that, because those stories we hear, that processing, those funnels, that reticular activating system, creating neural pathways in your head that you get right from being literally a baby, they are strong. And you don't even know they're there. But here's the point. You can uninstall them, and you can choose your values, you can choose your narrative, you can choose how you're going to feel, because there's people like you and me and other people who know how to get you there.
And it's choice. You hit the nail fully on the head. Full on choice. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. And that's the thing, isn't it? That's the beauty. It has been absolutely a pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure. And I keep saying this word over and over again. When this is over,
we will go for a really long walk. We probably could do it now. Socially distanced. I'm sure we could. So I know you want people to post underneath. I'll post.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look now.
I've got a load of, I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to put a tag in your thing, but I've got freebies, quite a lot of freebies. The 5Fs, I've got a worksheet about that. Lots of freebies. My website has been upgraded. There's more being added. And also, I'll have a course coming out in about 2 weeks' time.
Oh my gosh.
Super duper value course, which gives you like 5 modules of everything I've talked about. It's almost like a guide through the book. It's me. You get hypnotherapy, you get coaching, and it's going to be at an amazing price. So look out for that.
Everyone needs to be on this, and for your free gifts as well.
Oh, I've got loads of free, and if you sign up for my newsletter, I give proper advice, normally every week. It's kind of gone to every 2 weeks at the moment, simply because we were dealing with like so many other things. I'm also speaking at a major conference next week, and I've got a book launch a week on Saturday, because there's 3 other books that I'm in. Ignite Your Life for Women, Ignite Your Female Leadership, and I'm going to be in Ignite for Female Change Makers.
Tell us as well about the event as well.
Yes, so Ignite, they were the book publisher, but they've created an entire institute, a bit like Mind Valley, but like they've got lots of strings to their bows. And they found that by having these collaborated books, they've done 12 now, and you've got like 35 to 50 authors, and they're all talking about really important issues like parenting, like love life, like being a change maker, being a female leader, just being a woman, being a man, being a parent, all of these things. They're like, wow, we've really created some collective wisdom here. And so next week, free completely free, 3 days, 27th, 28th and 29th are, I think, 30 of the people from that pool, and I'm one of them, giving 1 hour presentations, sharing their wisdom, a bit like what we've just done, but and also every one of us has had to commit to like loads of giveaways. I think they've estimated that there's something like 5 million, I don't know, I don't even know the figure, there were so many noughts, but the giveaways, every person's giving an hour, a bit like what we've just done, really tangible things. They're all really bona fide people, really know their stuff and come from the heart as well. And everybody's got a giveaway, and it's all free. So all you have to do is sign up, and you can dip in and dip out. You can look at the list of the speakers and go, well, that appeals to me because I'm a parent, or that appeals to me because my love life is a car crash, or that appeals to me, and that doesn't appeal to me. Seriously, what's not to love?
That's amazing. I'm signing up. So I'm signing up.
I'm on the 27th. I'm on the morning. I'm on the first morning.
First morning is the 20th.
And then there's panels. So at the end of each half day, there's a panel, and the speakers from that time will do live cast and questions and answers as well, so that you can interact. So it's the Ignite Your Life Summit. I think you've got that link anyway, or if not, send that link. I'll send the link to my freebies, and then obviously we'll keep you posted about my course. Yeah. Oh, and also the book. So the book's launching a week on Saturday. So if anybody wants a signed copy of Ignite Your Life for Female Changemakers, there's 50 authors in this book. I haven't physically got the books yet because there's a bit of a shipping issue with COVID. They're somewhere. But there will be copies of books soon, and I can do signed
copies of the books as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell us about, because obviously you've got some free gifts as well.
Yes, so there's loads of freebies. So on my website, there's free download, hypnotic download to get you out of overwhelm, absolutely free of charge. There's going to be more, but at the moment you can get that. There's the 5X workbook. There's a worksheet. I'll be honest, I can't even remember what freebies we've got because we've been putting so many on. Next week, we're going to be putting a goal setting, hypnotherapy and workbook. And then obviously after that, there'll be more paid for things, but they are going to be, look, I have a background in marketing. I understand people want value for money. I really do give value for money. So, and also if I do a course, it's not just because I thought, oh, that would be a good idea. It's because I've got something really valuable to offer. So the course will be really, really well priced. I'm saying at the moment, probably £97. The elements alone will individually sell for probably £49. So you've immediately got £250 worth for £97. But and I'm sure there's other freebies and I can't even remember what they are. Oh, there's an ebook. That's right. There's an ebook. There's an ebook. And there's a shop now. You can buy my books.
But you do so much amazing work. You do so much amazing work on your, on everything that you do. You make everyone smile on a daily basis.
Thank you.
And
I really appreciate that.
And the fact that you share, you share your work. You've got some really great stuff, and as I said before, this book,
thank you,
fabulous.
And in terms of my therapy, 70% of it was on Zoom anyway, because I work with clients all over the world. So I'm completely set up for that. So I'm not sure when we're going to go back to people would actually be able to come and see me in Newark, but it's not an impediment for me at the moment.
Yeah, I tell you what. I just think you're over.
Thank you. Oh. I think it's a hot flush, but I am menopausal. So.
But yeah, it's been beautiful having you here today. I have checked. There's no link on here for the event, neither. So get a link on there. So
Shall I just post it on your Facebook page underneath the video?
Yeah,
what shall I do?
Where we've done the video today.
I'll do that. So I'll put so look out under it then, everybody, and I'll put the links. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yesterday was not a good day, as we've already established. So I will rectify it later.
Don't worry. And what we'll be doing now from now on. So next week we've got the beautiful Leslie Wells, who's a clinical hypnotherapist, coming on to talk. And what we're going to be trying to do is try and get these videos off. We'll be going to taking them off Facebook and then uploading them onto YouTube and making sure the interviews are all over YouTube.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Into podcasts as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. I've got two podcasts coming up.
Two. Wow.
Okay, so you heard them here first. I haven't even told people about them, but and they're not going to be for probably about a month, because all these other things, guess what, Trina? You have to pace yourself. So
I know. I know.
I'm like, hey, we'll deal with the book, we'll deal with the conference, we'll deal with the new thing, we'll deal with getting well, we'll deal with the clients I'm seeing. Oh yes, then the podcast. But I've got two podcasts coming out. So I've got one called Monkey Business. And that is because, the chimp mind, the chimp paradox, getting rid of that chimp mind, that monkey mind, monkey chatter in your head, and business, because obviously I have a business background, I have business credibility, self-made millionaire at 40. I really understand business. So I'm going to be interviewing business people who have used their monkey brain either for or against themselves. So either they've got there because of it or they've crashed and burned because of it. But what did they learn? How did they work that mindset for their business? So that's the first one. And the second one is called Visible Women. And Visible Women is going to do with my friend Sue Jackson, who was a former presenter of Girls Around Town at Radio Newark. And I think our strap line is, we're middle-aged, we're menopausal, and we're angry.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is so going to click with so many people.
So that's going to be very different to the other one. This is me doing the two sides of my personality. It's really because, when women get to be a certain age, kind of particularly in their 40s, they become invisible, There is a book called Invisible Women, and that's kind of what prompted us in a way, because we both read it and loved it. But interestingly, Sue quite likes being invisible. She's like, oh, I don't have to worry so much anymore. It's all great. I can go into town and, just wear my tracky bottoms if I want to. I don't care about what people think about me so much. But then there is a point of, when I was really high in marketing 5-6 years ago, and one of the reasons, there were many reasons I had a career change, but one of them was I didn't seem to be visible anymore. They were going after the 30-somethings, although I had all that experience. We really look at newsreaders. They're all young. What happens to the 40-year-olds? Goldie Hawn said famously, an actress in Hollywood, there's only two roles. One is, I think, Big Bosom Babe, and the other one is Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh no!
No, really, and that has definitely changed and is changing. Absolutely, 100%. There are now a lot more female role models and roles for women in their 40s and 50s, but on the whole, they're pretty invisible. So we're going to make.
Really?
You can shout about whatever you want to on our podcast. We're going to be visible.
I love it. It's gonna, it's gonna be amazing.
It is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So I want the links for those as well, so then I can put them.
Okay, well they're not. They're in.
When they're ready.
And that will be now. I just decided today that will be a few weeks, so that I don't put myself under too much pressure. And I take care of my health. So that will be. Watch this space, as they say.
I will get a link from you to post up for the event.
Thank you.
Well, so we'll pop
I think we should go now. People are probably desperate for a cup of coffee.
I'm gonna go. Right. I know sometimes you get chatting and it's like
I know. Sorry anybody who's still watching.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm not actually.
There's so much value in what we've just been speaking about right now. So much value for you, and so much value to actually start working as well with Rosalind. So I was just about to go Ros, sorry. But there's so much value to get when you work with this amazing, phenomenal, I'm going to say it, phenomenal.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you next week when we join you with Leslie Wells, clinical hypnotherapist, and she's actually only a neighbour of mine. So,
and could everybody who's a healer or a light worker just send energy for the dog Brody, because he went to the vet yesterday and they basically said he's not going to last the day, and we've rung up this morning and he's rallying.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I know. So keep sending those good vibes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Because
I know. I'm going to go and see him now. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the vet.
Oh.
I'm going to go and whisper in his ear lots of really positive hypnotherapy-based affirmations, and he's going to be as good as gold tomorrow, wagging his tail.
Isn't it beautiful when, isn't it so beautiful when you see something just so powerful come together and really happen?
I did it with my cat. The vet told me that my cat was going to be put down the next day. I went to the vet's and I was like, come on. I was like leaning in the cage, doing positive affirmations. And I didn't care. I was like, I don't care what they think about me. It's fine. Talk to the cat. I got a phone call the next day and they went, we can't quite explain this, but your cat's sitting up and eating and seems to be fine. It's like,
I had the same with my dog. We thought like she was literally gone.
Yeah.
And just amazing.
So send those vibes. I'm off now to the vets.
Always good vibes. Right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched this week. As I said before, Leslie Wells is on next week, clinical hypnotherapist. Thank you to transformational coach Rosalind Palmer this week. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Let's see if I can do this switch off now.